There is a place beyond the surface of the world, a space where silence screams louder than words, and the weight of existence threatens to crush you from the inside. This isn't your average story of music and friendship. It's a reflection of everything we try not to think about, of expectations that feel like chains, of the voice inside that whispers you are not enough, or worse, that you are too much. It's where isolation becomes a routine, and the question isn't how to be happy, but whether it's still worth trying. This is where our story begins, not with light, but with shadow. Here, music isn't a dream, it's a cry for help, a desperate attempt to hold on to something, anything. The girls we meet aren't just running toward a stage, they are running away from school, from parents, from the masks they wear in a world that demands perfection. They are not chasing fame, they are trying to survive themselves. Every note they write, every message sent in the dark is a flicker of resistance against despair. Because when your mind is the battlefield, sometimes the quietest acts become the loudest screams. The Prince presents Nightcord at 25. Nightcord at 25, or Niigo, is one of the most emotionally charged and thematically rich units in Project Sekai. When I think of Niigo, I don't think of a typical idol group or a collection of characters with cute songs and vibrant smiles. It's like we are swimming through the darkest memories of girls having a battle with their mental selves, and yet it's that darkness where we find something more human, more profound. It's where we find hope. From the very beginning, Nightcord stands out as different. The music is somber and introspective, the visuals are subdued, and the story arcs don't pull punches. This is a group about broken hearts and fragile minds, struggling with personal identity, expectations, and the invisible wounds that cut deeper than any blade. But even through all that, Niigo is about healing, or find your way back to the light, even if it's just one small step at a time. Let's take a moment to talk about each of these four girls, because to me, they aren't just characters, they are people, living, breathing, fluid, and beautiful. Asahina Mafuyu. Mafuyu is the centerpiece of Niigo. She is the stillness around which all the chaos orbits. At first glance, she is the perfect student, smart, quiet, obedient, but in truth, she is a ghost of a person, shaped and crushed by her mother's suffocating expectations. She wears a mask so convincing, even she starts to believe in it. Out of all the characters, Mafuyu is without a doubt the most well explored and developed. The storytelling surrounding her descent into emotional numbness and later her slow steps toward reclaiming her own will is some of the strongest narrative writing I've seen in any gacha game. Her arc is a mirror for anyone who has ever felt like they weren't allowed to be themselves. When she breaks, it's not loud or flashy, it's quiet, painful, and real. The way Mafuyu is now is the result of years of emotional suppression. Her mother's rigid control over her life, demanding excellence, perfection, and total obedience has drained Mafuyu of any personal desire or sense of identity. She was never allowed to explore who she truly was, only taught who she should be. Over time, she stopped trying to resist and simply disappeared into the hole she was forced to play. The Sekai she finds herself in reflects that emptiness, a frozen, colorless world. But in Niigo, and through the songs they create together, Mafuyu is slowly forced to confront the dissonance between her mask and her true feelings. The others, especially Kanade, begin to see through her act, not pushing her too hard, but giving her a space to feel. That's what Project Sekai offers Mafuyu, not a solution, but the chance to be seen, maybe for the first time. I honestly think the production team knew how important this arc was. The build-up was clearly planned over multiple events, and when the climax finally arrived, the animation, the direction, the music, everything felt sharper. Mafuyu made me reflect on why I will always prefer to be sentimental, because acting with the heart is acting with our truest self. Even when the world tells you to harden up, to conform, to fit in, she reminds me that there is power feeling deeply, and when she finally takes that small step toward living again, it's as if the whole world exhales with her. Yoisaki Kanade. Kanade is the founder of Niigo and its emotional anchor. She creates music as a lifeline. Her struggle lies in the guilt she carries from her father and her inability to save people through her songs. A once passionate composer of himself, he overworked himself to the point of irreversible brain damage. I'm speaking about Kanade's father. He now lies in a hospital, alive but unable to remember anything beyond Kanade's birth. As a child, Kanade started making music simply to support and make her father happy, an innocent gesture, but after his collapse, that act transformed into a burden of guilt. She became consumed by the belief that if she had done more, or less, or something different, maybe things would haven't turned out this way. Project Sekai doesn't heal her guilt directly, but it gives her a space where she's no longer writing in isolation. The emotional distance she once kept begins to shrink. She sees that the others are carrying their own burdens too, and through shared creation and collaboration, she begins to understand that music doesn't have to save the world to matter, it only has to connect. Kanade isn't loud, not angry, she is soft-spoken, yet there is a weight to every word she says. There is this haunting beauty in how she believes that if she can just create the right melody, she can fix the world around her. But the music, like emotion, isn't always that simple. Sometimes it's messy, incomplete, unresolved like life itself. What I love about Kanade is her quiet persistence. She keeps going even when she doesn't believe in herself. Even when her hands tremble, she still writes. Her story speaks to the artists out there, those who create not out of joy, but out of necessity, those who turn their inner storms into something that might help someone else feel less alone. Akiyama Mizuki. Mizuki is the enigma of the group. Colorful, chaotic, and at first glance, the less troubled of the four, but that's only the surface. Mizuki struggles with her gender identity and social acceptance run deep, and the arc is one of the most tender and difficult to watch. In many ways, Mizuki is the heart of the group's emotional complexity. They use fashion, memes, and brightness to mask the inner pain. Mizuki is the kind of character who makes you laugh one moment and then hits you with a line so raw that you have to pause the game and sit with it. I never expected a mobile rhythm game to explore gender and identity so intimately, but Mizuki's story proves that Project Sekai isn't afraid to go there. Mizuki's pain doesn't come from a rejecting home. Their parents are supportive, but the problem is more subtle, in some ways harder to fight. It's society, it's the quiet, implicit rejection from peers, the alienation that comes from never being fully accepted no matter how loud or bright you are. Their pain isn't theatrical, it creeps in through silence, through judgment that is never spoken, but always failed. Project Sekai gives Mizuki a refuge, a place where they don't have to pretend to be something they are not. Their isekai is chaotic, overwhelming, loud, but also safe. It's the one place where their identity isn't questioned. Through the growing bond with the group, Mizuki begins to realize that they don't need to hide behind brightness to be accepted. They just need the right people to see them. Mizuki's arc made me think of the ways we perform for the world, the mask we wear, and how desperately we wish someone would just look beyond all that and see the real us. They are a reminder that sometimes the strongest people are the ones who smile through the pain. Shinonome Ena. Ena is probably the most outwardly normal of the group, but her emotional landscape is just as complex. She struggles with self-worth, with feeling like an outsider, and with the pressure of being good enough in a world that constantly makes her feel small. What shaped Ena was the weight of expectation. As the daughter of a renowned artist, she once believed she was destined to follow in his footsteps, but over time that belief turned into something self-imposed pressure. She quit art for a while, and when she returned to it, she was struck by how far behind she felt, especially compared to former classmates who had kept studying while she stepped away. Her art, which should have been her safe space, becomes a source of insecurity instead, especially when the photos she takes quickly and with little effort get more attention than the piece she pours her soul into. That disconnect is brutal, the feeling that the world only sees the surface, not the substance. Niigo gives Ena a space where her voice is heard, not just her art or her aesthetics, but her raw, unfiltered self. She doesn't have to be perfect to be loved. What I appreciate about Ena is how honest her insecurities are. She lashes out, she complains, she's jealous, but never once does it feel fake. If anything, she's the most human. Her flaws aren't hidden behind symbolism or metaphor. They are front and center. She's angry at the world, but also desperate to connect. And through her friendship with the other members, she slowly begins to realize that she does matter, that she has value, not because of some external validation, but because she exists. Ena's growth isn't loud, but it's deeply satisfying. She learns to listen, to open up, and to love, not just others, but herself. Nightcord at 25, Niigo isn't just a group, it's a message. It's about finding yourself with your own heart and about the messy, non-linear, often painful path that healing takes. They show us that being strong doesn't mean never breaking. It means choosing to stand up again even after you've shattered. There is something almost spiritual about the way Niigo's arcs unfold. It's like watching pieces of yourself reflecting in each of them. One event you resonate with Mizuki, the next you are crying over Kanade, then suddenly Ena's pain feels like your own, and before you know it, Mafuyu pulls you into a place you didn't want to remember, but needed to. That's the magic of this group. I can't decide my favorite character because each arc makes me think that one of them is my favorite, and then another comes along and flips everything. By the halfway point of the story, I thought I had seen the best this game had to offer, but then the ending came, and it was flying colors, truly. It's impressive how consistent and lovable the entire cast is, not just in Niigo but across the whole game. There isn't a single character I can point to and say that one felt underwritten. They are all given care, personality, and goals. They are alive. Niigo is more than just a story about a group of troubled girls making music together. It's a reflection of ourselves, of the dark places we hide, the pain we carry, and the hope we cling to. It's about finding the people who see you even when you can't see yourself. It's about holding on just a little longer because someone out there is listening. Niigo is a unique story not only in Project Sekai but in the world of games as a whole. It's a landmark message like how the world sees only the surface and not the substance of manipulative matter who demands total obedience, and how this can destroy your own child's mental health or gender identity, something rarely explored in Japanese media and with such seriousness and care are handled here with striking honesty and depth. When Anna is putting so much effort in something she loves only to see the results in something she doesn't care about, it's fantastic. It's not just a social critique but a unique character development for Shinonome Anna. And when I see Nightcord at 25, I think of us working together to encounter a paradise, a journey to meet the true light, a battle for the hope. With that, I conclude this video of Niigo, one of the groups of Project Sekai. If you enjoyed it, I can definitely cover the other bands in the future too. And with that, I close the curtains and the showdown.